Okay, super go.
Let's chat about some tunes and laws.
I think we're gonna get in a fight about this one. Is that right? I don't know why.
I think we're already in a fight about this one, so
I don't understand.
That's where I am.
So let's just set it out there for everybody.
As you drink.
You hate ABBA, is that right?
I mean, if I'm having like 3 tequila cocktails, I like ABBA, and I'm on the dance floor to Dancing Queen.
Okay.
But,
okay. So we found some common ground at least, right?
But any other occasion, I dislike ABBA very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
even as the feminist, I mean, you're a feminist, this feminist iconic band of the 70s. You're like, no feminism for me. No, don't want it.
I would say it's more of like a gay iconic band.
Oh,
Queer.
wow, that's a really unusual interpretation. I haven't heard that one.
For the girls, the gays, and the theys.
The girls, the gays, and the theys. Do you like? Is there any? I know you have thousands of records in your collection. Is there any ABBA anywhere on the shelves?
Would you believe that there is 0 ABBA in our collection?
Oh.
Not one. I asked, and I got a confirmation that we don't have any.
You get a pass. You weren't born yet, but
don't give me a pass for that.
It doesn't explain all your other 60s and 70s albums. So that's right. So
yeah.
So, but the song I mentioned to you, "The Winner Takes It All," you've heard that song though, right? Is that a new one to you?
No, I've heard of that song. Yes.
You've heard that. I mean, it's all about law and business. I mean, the judges will decide, the likes of me abide. I mean, it's all right in there. I think it's built for our work.
Did you study it in law school?
Right. One of the lesser known case books was about music and the law and how to extract meaning out of those lyrics.
Exactly.
But I mean, I think there is something that we can learn as lawyers and clients about contracts in even ABBA tunes.
Okay, so you suggested this song, and I wanted to hear what made you think of it and what exactly in the lyrics you see applying to business relations. So tell us about that.
I wish it was that subtle and nuanced of an analysis, but I just heard the title and the chorus, and it made me think of legal fee clauses in contracts, right? So down in the bottom of lots of contracts, there's a clause that says if the parties get into a fight, if they go to litigation, the winner takes it all. The loser has to pay the winner's legal fees in addition to whatever damages that might come out of the case. Have you heard of a legal fee clause before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Do you see it often? Would you say you see it very often in contracts or not as often?
I think it's very common. And what's interesting is I think there's not very much analysis as to whether it's the right. It seems like a standard bit of boilerplate, but maybe it shouldn't be. I think that there's a time and a place for it to use it correctly. And I think most people just legal fees, yep, put it in there, put the tax clause, put the notices clause in there, and it doesn't, you're making faces the face you make at ABBA.
Well, it just makes me think that I really wouldn't want to, that would put me off as somebody reading that type of contract, because it kind of comes off as a little bit desperate and you're already being so guarded, but maybe you have to be. I don't know, maybe there are some times when you have to be.
I haven't heard that so much, and I think the reason is because the clauses are always written to be mutual. It's not just if one side wins they get their legal fees. It's like if either side wins, the other side has to pay. You know, in most of the rest of the world, the law that's the default in the law, that the loser pays. Like, you don't have to have anything in your contract. But in America, we have to have it in the contract for that a rule to apply. America has its own special rules for everything, it seems
Can
like.
we
So
can we apply that to marriage?
yeah.
Like, if you want to
What are your
get a
damages?
divorce.
Well, when you go to law school, you study a case about engagement rings, and that an engagement ring, and there's cases of the person who gave a ring and then the wedding was called off. They sue the fiance to get the ring back because it was a promise in consideration of marriage. Like, I will give you this in exchange for you giving me marriage, and if you don't give me the marriage, you have to give the ring back. So
come on.
yeah, you fight about anything. People will fight about anything.
Yeah.
But legal fees. Do you think that so you already said, like, it seems kind of weird. Do you think it should be in every type of contract?
I don't think so. I think that maybe it seems like it would come from experience, from being burnt before, or on a, you know, on a base of, just maybe with this client I have it, maybe with another client I don't. It just maybe depends on the relationship, but I wouldn't want to have everything in the kitchen sink in every contract.
Yeah,
Because
I think
it should reflect you, right? It should reflect like what you've learned over the years too.
it should reflect you, and it should reflect the relationship, but in the context of our clients. So when agencies do work with a client, the analysis that we recommend is who is most likely to have to file a lawsuit and benefit from the clause. And most of the time, so this is a general rule. I think that the most general rule is, you're right. You got to look at every situation, and it may not be appropriate for every situation. But the general rule that we see is when an agency is doing work for clients, so you're going to build a website or make a logo or write some code in exchange for money, the most common problem that comes up is the client doesn't pay. And so the person needing to sue is the agency. The person that owes money is the client. And in those cases, all else being equal, you do want a legal fee clause because it's helpful leverage, especially if your client is, like, if you're a small agency and your client is a big bank, like, you need the leverage to be able to fight with them to get paid. But if you flip it around and look at an agency's relationship with maybe a subcontractor, right? So a subcontractor is providing some services, writing, helping with some design. The most likely dispute in that matter is, like, the agency says, this design stinks, I'm not going to pay you, contractor. And then maybe a legal fee clause is not appropriate. But either way, at the end, you get done writing your contract and you go listen to some ABBA. And I think everybody is better for that.
I will listen to something else, but I will cheer you on.
You can't even get into the spirit of it for this. Well, we'll have to, maybe we'll get some comments and we'll find out, like, who is on the right side of history here. If ABBA is an appropriate guilty pleasure, like a thumbs up, or if it's 70s garbage like you described.
Hot trash. Sounds good.
Hot trash. Thanks for talking to me about contracts, Andi.
Yeah, thanks for chatting.
I'm always trying to talk to you about music, and you always make it about contracts, but that's fine. We'll keep doing it. If that's what makes you happy, we'll do it.
No, it does. It makes me so happy. Thanks, Josh.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye. That was nice.
That was. Let's see it. Stop record.